From Betrayal to Triumph. A House That Revealed the Truth. Chapter 1. The Promises of Forever. Ethan and I had a whirlwind romance, the kind of love story you'd see in movies. He swept me off my feet with his charm, grand gestures, and promises of a beautiful future. When we got married, I was convinced we were a team. He was the ambitious breadwinner, always striving for the next big thing, and I was his steadfast supporter, ready to weather any storm with him. We had dreams, buying a house, traveling the world, and starting a family. Ethan often worked late, and while I missed him, he assured me it was all for us. "This is temporary," he'd say, holding my hand. "I'm doing this so we can have the life we deserve." I believed him. Chapter 2. Unveiling the Secrets. The first sign something was wrong came on our anniversary. Ethan was unusually distant, excusing himself repeatedly to take work calls. I brushed it off as stress, but the pit in my stomach told me otherwise. A month later, while organizing our paperwork, I stumbled across a bank statement. It listed a hefty down payment for a plot of land. Confused, I waited for Ethan to come home. "What's this?" I asked, holding the paper. He barely glanced at it. "It's an investment property. A good opportunity came up and I didn't want to pass on it." Though his explanation seemed plausible, something felt off. He hadn't discussed it with me, which was unusual for a decision this big. Still, I convinced myself to trust him. But then, strange things started happening. Ethan became even more secretive. He'd guard his phone like a hawk, take calls in other rooms, and frequently disappear on weekends, claiming he was meeting clients. My suspicions grew when I found blueprints for a house tucked away in a drawer. The design was extravagant, with features we had never discussed. What puzzled me most was that my name wasn't on anything. Not the documents, not the plans, nothing. Chapter 3. The Devastating Truth. Determined to uncover the truth, I hired a private investigator. A week later, he handed me a folder filled with evidence, pictures of Ethan with another woman, holding hands, laughing, and even playing with a child, a little boy who looked eerily like him. Ethan had a secret family. The house he was building? It wasn't for us. It was for them. My world shattered. I stared at the photos, feeling a mix of rage, heartbreak, and betrayal. How could the man I'd loved and trusted do this to me? Chapter 4. Confrontation and Denial. I waited for Ethan to come home that evening, my heart pounding as I clutched the folder. When he walked in, I didn't waste any time. "How long?" I demanded, throwing the pictures on the table. Ethan froze. His face turned pale as he saw the evidence laid out before him. "I can explain," he stammered. "Explain? You've been living a double life, Ethan. You built a house for them while lying to me every step of the way." He tried to justify himself, claiming he was caught in a complicated situation and didn't want to hurt me. But his excuses only fueled my anger. "You didn't want to hurt me? You destroyed me!" I yelled. "Get out! I'm done!" That night, Ethan packed a bag and left. Chapter 5. Rebuilding Myself. The days that followed were some of the hardest of my life. I cried until there were no tears left, replaying every moment of our marriage and questioning how I hadn't seen the signs. But as the weeks passed, something shifted. I realized that Ethan's betrayal didn't define me. If anything, it gave me a chance to rediscover who I was without him. I threw myself into my work, earning a promotion that boosted my confidence. I joined a fitness class, started painting again, and reconnected with friends I'd neglected during my marriage. Slowly but surely, I began to heal. Chapter 6. Turning Pain into Power. The divorce was messy, as Ethan tried to manipulate the process in his favor. He claimed I wouldn't survive financially without him, a jab that stung, but motivated me to prove him wrong. I used my share of the settlement wisely, investing in a business idea I'd been sitting on for years. The business flourished, becoming more successful than I'd ever imagined. With my newfound financial independence, I bought a house, a place that was entirely mine. Decorating it was therapeutic, and every piece of furniture felt like a symbol of my resilience. Chapter 7. A Chance Encounter. About a year after our divorce was finalized, I ran into Ethan at a mutual friend's gathering. He looked disheveled and tired, a far cry from the confident man I once knew. "You look good," he said awkwardly, his eyes scanning my polished appearance. "Thank you," I replied, keeping my tone neutral. Ethan tried to make small talk, but I wasn't interested. I had moved on. Before I left, he said, "I made a mistake. I didn't realize what I had until I lost it." I didn't respond. He didn't deserve my forgiveness or attention. Chapter 8. Living my best life. Now, my days are filled with joy and purpose. I've built a life I'm proud of, surrounded by supportive friends and fulfilling work. Ethan's betrayal was devastating, but it forced me to grow in ways I never thought possible. The house he built for his secret family turned out to be a burden, as his relationship with them crumbled under financial strain. Meanwhile, I thrived, proving to myself, and to him, that I didn't need him to be happy. Looking back, I'm grateful for the lessons that experience taught me. I am stronger, wiser, and more self-assured than ever before, and that, I realized, was the ultimate revenge. Living a life so full and joyful that his absence felt like a blessing. When Sarah discovered her husband had built a luxurious house for his secret family, her world crumbled. The betrayal was devastating, but it marked the beginning of a transformative journey. From heartbreak to empowerment, Sarah rebuilt her life, proving that sometimes losing everything can be the greatest blessing. Follow her inspiring story of resilience, self-discovery, and ultimate triumph over betrayal.